Yeah, yep. You've got 3 shot. Cool. Of those 3. Oh, I got wet. You getting wet? Yeah.
Tremendous.
Seriously?
Timed it, innit?
It's like Logger's leap over it. Oh. Good.
Sorry, real quick, presenters. Your microphones have all got little switches on them, so if you need to cough or if there's anything you don't want heard, you can just up and down.
Up and down?
Yeah. So
Up.
So if you pop it back up. Then
Welcome to the warm-up live. This is the place to be for all the build-up against the Birmingham City game tonight. After that result between Watford and Borough left the door to automatic promotion ever so slightly ajar for us maybe. We've got Saturday's game against Huddersfield covered. Emiliano tells us about a hidden talent that was fit for the circus. And like I said, we'll be getting stuck right into this game over there tonight. And I'm delighted to say, joining me as always, the ambassador, Marcus Gale, Brentford women's gaffer Carly Osborne, and the brilliant Natalie Sawyer. A little bit later, I've got a special treat for you. As completing this five-a-side team, Jonathan Douglas will be joining us to see us through to the end of the show. How are we all?
Very well.
Good, Stu.
Cold, getting a bit wet as well, aren't we, up here?
Time to
Sun and
sprinklers.
sprinklers, yeah. Natalie, I mentioned it there.
Yeah.
Has that result between Watford and Middlesbrough reignited a little bit of hope for us?
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, I hadn't completely ruled it out anyway, in fairness, because we have these 2 games in hand. So, you know, all we can do is control what we can control, which is our own games. Win this one, win our next, the game in hand over Watford. It kind of puts us into a better position, knowing we still have to play Watford in our last home game of the season. We're a team that, in a way, likes to do it without the pressure off us, in a way. Like, I'm thinking back to last season when we were sort of creeping up, getting towards West Brom. And then when the pressure really was on us, it kind of fell away, as we all know. So I think, in a way, it suits us to be in this position right now. Everyone's assuming Norwich and Watford are up. So why not just see what happens?
Carly, are we in a must-win territory quite yet?
yeah, I think so. I think that's the best way to think about it. I think the players need to think about it that way and just take every game as it comes. But first and foremost, you need to think about winning it and getting those 3 points.
What do we always say, Ambassador?
Each game at a time.
Each game at a time. And I'm bored on that without. I'm on
About
board with you. We're on air until 6:40, where it'll be time to join Mark Burridge over on iFollow. And our very own Carrot and Neville will be joining Mark. I'll let you two work out
who's Carrot
and who's Neville there, basically. But it's not just about us this evening, it's about you two. We want you to get in touch with your tweets, your comments, and we'll read out our favourites. Some of you have been posting already today. Ollie Webb, he says, 3 points for my birthday would be good, please. Happy birthday, Ollie. And Adjury_90 says, huge game tonight. We really need a win to give us some momentum in this run-in. We go again, Let's go. We certainly do go again. And let's have a look at some team news, shall we, ahead of tonight's game. We've got the teams here for you. For Brentford, only one change, I believe, with Matthias Jensen coming in for Saman Ghoddos. So let's read these out for you now. David Raya in goal. Ethan Pinnock at centre-half with Pontus Jansson, with Mads Rosleff and Mads Bech Sorensen at full-back. In midfield, Christian Norgard, Matthias Jensen, as mentioned, and Vitaly Janelt. Out wide, Sergi Canos, Brian Mbomo, and as always, Ivan Toney leading the line. Birmingham, Neil Etheridge, Maxine Colan returning, Christian Pedersen, Roberts, Hogan, Jukovic, Harley Dean, again another familiar face returning, McGree, Gardner, Sunjic and Alin Halilovic also in the side for them. Let's have a little look at that team news then, shall we? Only one real change, but Ethan and Pontus together at the back. We haven't seen that a lot this year, Natalie. How big a blow has that been, not having those two together?
Well, obviously, you always want to have your first pairing playing as often as you can, and that's what the team would have been set up for at the start of the season. So to lose that and to be sort of tinkering with it as we have done a little bit this season, it's not easy. And it's not only the fact that you haven't got your centre-back partnership. I think, and you guys might be able to tell me differently, but when you don't have your favoured centre-back partners, your full-backs as well, they've got to learn a different relationship with their relative centre-back that's next to them. So, when we've had Rico in the side, or whoever it is as the full-back, if they're being told stay, go, all those kind of conversations, you're learning that as you go along with a different partner. So it not only affects the centre-back partner, it affects the whole back line, really, to not have that stable partnership. So it's great to have them both in tonight, and hopefully they'll do the business for us.
Carly as a centre-half. You know more than anyone else, really. How much does that help you, having someone next to you for the whole season?
Yeah, it's huge. Habits, you learn each other's habits when you build a relationship with your partnership. And also, especially down the middle of the pitch, partnerships are really key. And it's important that you know how your partner's going to play, what things they're going to do. It helps you not to think as much. You can just react because you know what decisions they're going to make. So it is key. But these are two great players who I'm sure have tried to learn as much as they can, even on a training pitch, and would have spoken throughout the season. So I'm sure they'll be ready to play with each other anyway.
And the wide areas is another area that is spoken about a lot with this Brentford side. And one man who finds himself on the bench again, Tariq Fosu. He came on for his 50th appearance at the weekend. We absolutely love him. The fans love him. But in 31 appearances this year, only 13 starts. We know what his record's like when he does start. He's popular, as I say, amongst the fans and us. Has he kind of maybe fallen foul of that impact sub-tag, Carly? Because can you also understand why Wavy he isn't starting when you look at his numbers compared to Brian and Sergi, with Brian top of the assists and Sergi scoring a lot of goals this season, and Tariq with 3 goals and 2 assists?
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. He has kind of fallen foul of that super sub kind of tag, and also the other two they're brilliant. But I like Tariq myself personally. He brings a little bit something different, I think, as well. But I'm sure he'll be ready when called upon.
What does he bring that's different to Brian and Sergi, Marcus?
I just think he just brings a different sort of energy. He's very good on the ball. I think he makes defenders defend. They have to keep an eye on him because of his movement, his interplay with his forward players as well. And I think that's what he kind of brings different to the side. I think what Carly was saying as well, it's probably a numbers game, is why he doesn't start as many. If he can get more assists, if he can get a good fair share of goals, I think that will help his case.
And Ivan leading the line again. He's 2 off Glenn Murray's record. You never know, he could do it here tonight, Natalie. Is it a case of if? Is it when rather than if? Sorry.
I'd like to think so. It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? I mean, it's kind of dreamland for us as Brentford fans to be seeing these strikers of late that we've had regularly scoring the goals as they have done. But for Ivan Toney to just come into this team and sort of just walked into it, it's like he's been here all the time. He's had no problem transitioning into the Championship with us. And to be so close to 30 goals, it is simply incredible. So I really hope he does get it, because I think it'd just be a fantastic achievement in just one season to have done that, as in your first season at a club.
And I think we just spoke about Tariq. It seems like those two have a real on the pitch relationship, don't they, Marcus?
I think that stems from them being close off the pitch as well. They knew each other before they signed for the club, so that helps. It's a bit like Dwight Yorke and Andy Cole back in the day, where they had a very good partnership off the field as well as on the field.
Well, look, it was Ivan who's been getting the goals all season, but Mads Bech Sorensen got the equaliser on Saturday to carry on his impressive goal-scoring run after scoring for the Denmark under-21s in the week. Here's all the action from that game up at Huddersfield.
Yeah, you're all good, Stu.
I should have said friendship instead of partnership.
There you go.
I should have said friendship instead of partnership. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start a rumour. Carly, that is Tony Robb, isn't it?
Who?
Marcus messaged me after that one, Natalie, and said, tough watch. Now, you that morning had to do a TalkSport shift early start, so I imagine that probably wasn't the best thing for you to be watching if you wanted to stay awake for the rest of the day.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it was good to send me off to sleep, and I needed a nap. But no, to be honest, it got better in the second half, didn't it? And you were talking about Ivan Toney. How close was he to getting a goal in that one? So, yeah, I mean, some of the games haven't been the most exciting, it has to be said. Having said that, I think that's just down to the nature of the season and how, and I've said it many a time, but how relentless it is. And as long as you can grind out a result in any way that you can, and let's not forget we've lost 1 in 7, so it's not the worst run of form that we're in, albeit that we've drawn our last 3. But, you know, it wasn't the easiest of watches. But then going away to Huddersfield, I don't know if necessarily it would have been an easy game anyway. So you have
No
to take
easy
all these
games
things.
in the Championship.
No easy. You're absolutely right.
Marcus, where did we find it tough?
I think obviously just going a goal behind and then trying to find our sort of rhythm and pattern and tempo to get back in that game. I don't think we kind of, found it. And that made it difficult. They cancelled out Christian in that midfield area, pressurised him. And then obviously Tony, a bit isolated at times through the game, couldn't get enough sort of chances for him to get one in the back of the net.
Carly, Marcus touched on him there, Christian Norgard. We saw this especially in the first half. Anytime we had it in the back four or with David Raya, you saw Christian would come to go short to get the ball. He'd have a little look, and there was always someone. It was Fraser, or someone was always on his. Fraser Cameron was always on his shoulder. Didn't allow him to get that. We've got a few clips of it actually, especially in the first half of where this happened a lot. How do you play against this? Because it hindered us hugely, didn't it, on Saturday?
Yeah, it did, and it's tough to play against in these situations. But sometimes you have to almost play a little bit clever and take the player away who's trying to mark you and try and create space somewhere else for someone else to maybe get on the ball. They know. Listen, Huddersfield knew how we played. They know he's a key player to get us ticking, and they did a fairly good job on him. But hopefully tonight it won't be the same.
Is that where we kind of saw towards the end of the game, Vitali was Christian was pulling that man away, and we saw Vitali enter that space. Let's look at the other incidents in that half, and the big one was this penalty shout, Natalie. Naby Sarr, as he's running towards his own goal. Penalty for you? The second angle here shows it better.
I mean, you say better, but I think even VAR would have difficulty. I can sort of see why we would have liked a penalty in that one, but I think if it was the other way around and it had been given against us, we'd be fuming, because you can't 100% say it's handball. So I mean, obviously at the time I'm shouting and screaming and saying, "Come on, give us the pen," but it didn't go our way in that instant. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still mixed feelings about it. I don't know.
What do you reckon? I'm saying it's a pen. I don't know if that's me being biased.
I would have liked to seen a pen, but as Natalie says, it's not conclusive enough to say it's definitely a pen. But yeah, if it was against us, we'd be fuming.
Well, look, we eventually did get the equaliser shortly after half time. I actually thought Pontus was going to break his duck with that header. Proper unlucky there. But Mads gets the goal. He's loving a goal at the moment, is he, Carly? Reminds me of a young Osborne, eh?
It does. No, I wish I could score goals.
The defenders get streaks like strikers.
Yeah, I think sometimes they do, to be fair.
Will he feel more confident?
Yeah,
from this?
definitely. It does help. And when you're going to attack things at set pieces and things like that, you do have that confidence where you believe you're going to go and win it and get on the end of something. What I like, though, is he doesn't just come in and score power and headers. He's scoring the little scrappy ones as well because he's anticipating things, which is brilliant.
And look, not long after that, Ivan hits the post. And it's those fine margins we've spoken about before. And that could have changed the narrative, couldn't it, Marcus?
Yeah, it just wasn't to be on the day. You know, Ivan's gone through on his left foot, his weaker side, but we know he can still finish superbly well with his left foot. But it just was not the day for him to get that, elusive goal that he wants to get.
Well, hopefully luck is on Ivan's side tonight as we face Birmingham City. This fixture sees us link up with the charity Bees for Development, who change lives all around the world using bees, and here is how they do it.
I'm Richard Harrington from Bees for Development. We're the global charity that makes life better with bees for people all around the world. Bees are absolutely amazing creatures and they give so much to people with very little effort. So if you have very little money and if you're in somewhere, let's say like Ghana or Ethiopia, where you actually have a rich natural environment around you, you can actually get bees for nothing. You can get the hives to keep them in. You can make them yourselves out of bark or bamboo, and then you get so much in terms of honey and beeswax and that sort of thing. So you can actually make a genuine living by working with bees for a very little investment at all, which is why it's the perfect way of helping people who really have very little all around the world. So bees are very much wild creatures, living in a hole in a tree, in the park. You just need the right amount of space for them, which is a bit like, say, the empty branch of a tree. Bees will move in and they'll do their thing, and you can gain your honey from them. To become a real expert in bees, it takes a good couple of years. So what we give to people is skills. What we don't do, for example, is export lots of hives for them to use and lots of materials, or give them money to do it with. We give people skills for life, and so we really find it really works. It helps people send their children to school with the money they can make, helps them feed themselves, feed their families, makes an enormous difference. People who, for example, through civil war and civil conflict, have, for example, been blinded in conflict and found that really, there's very little support if you have a disability of that kind. Something like beekeeping suddenly makes a real opportunity for you to get back a little bit of independence. You can earn your own money, and we have several people, particularly in Uganda, who are now really expert beekeepers who have lost their sight or are deaf or with other disabilities, who are really making a real living out of beekeeping. We're seeing a big demand in places where we are right now for people who have no furlough to fall back on. They've just got no living to make, and we're finding that take-up is really strong. People really do need a sustainable living that will keep them going for many years to come. We're really excited to be working with Brentford as a football club, largely because it's just such a good fit. Obviously a name, but also the fact that bees are the most wonderful team workers. So a whole colony of bees, yes, there are 40,000 of them at a time instead of 11, but they all communicate with each other so tightly. They all work together. They really, really work for each other. And I think lessons you can learn from bees are the same that you need to succeed in life, in sport, in all sorts of team engagement.
Hey, Richard's not wrong. Bees are amazing creatures and you can help change many lives around the world too. A limited run of these Bees for Development t-shirts are available from the club store for £15, with all profits going to the charity. And also keep an eye out on socials tomorrow for a special Bees for Development competition. Thanks for modelling that for us there, Natalie.
Thank you. I like that. Another role for me.
You can have that if you want it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
There you
I
go.
do really like it.
We look after you. Let's talk about today's game, though. Natalie, I don't know about you, but growing up for me, this was a rivalry, Brentford-Birmingham.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't too keen on them, and there was a feeling amongst the two sides.
Oh yeah, there was Needle, definitely. And it, for me, it got even worse because Martin Granger ended up playing for them, and he was one of my favourite players. So yeah, there was a rivalry. I mean, of course, there always is with every team that you're playing against in your leagues. But yeah, I don't think it's as much there as it was. Although there'll be people probably now shouting at the screen going, no, there really is.
It
But
was his lot that started it all, wasn't it,
yeah,
Marcus?
let's all play.
That's
what
it. Blame
happened there,
my
Marcus?
generation as usual, yeah?
But the games went off between you and them, didn't it, back in
Yeah,
the day?
we was all fighting for the same things back then in the old Division 3. Very tight games, feisty. There's always something on the game as well. So, yeah, enjoyable times, very competitive.
enjoyable times. Not enjoyable time was the opening day of the season this year, the 1-0 defeat. That was a horrid game again, if we're being honest. But it was one of those days where just nothing seemed to come off for us, did it, Marcus? We've got the highlights here, and it was... We had our chances that day, didn't we?
We had chances. It's the first game of the season. You want to try and set your stall out early on. You know, you're integrating a new striker, you're integrating other new players in that side as well, which is sometimes difficult because they've got to get used to how we play. The early days of Tony, but you know, we saw the glimpses in this. We're hitting the post here. We're looking like we're going to score goals, but you know, the sharpness wasn't going to be on the first day for us, and you know, to concede the goal as we did as well was a bit disappointing. But we've grown since that moment.
We did hit the woodwork twice, Carly. When you're playing in games where you hit the woodwork twice, we're seeing it there. Do you start going, this ain't our day today?
Yeah, sometimes when you create lots of chances and then you kind of hit the woodwork, or it's narrowly wide, or the keeper's having a worldie, you can start to think it's not going to be our day, and unfortunately it wasn't. But listen, it's all about the next game after that, isn't it?
And looking at this game today, we can see the Birmingham City team are out behind us at the moment. Lee Bowyer, the new gaffer there, 3 games in. What impact do you think he's had, Natalie, on them?
Well, it's a freshness, isn't it? It's someone coming in with new ideas, you'd like to think, for them anyway. And it's just a different voice. It wasn't working, obviously, with... was it Aitor Karanka? I suddenly had
Aitor Karanka, yeah.
I couldn't remember for a minute. Oh, there's so many changes. I think it's just a new voice and coming up with different ideas just to get them out of the relegation trouble that they find themselves in.
I think you can actually see the VT that we've got coming out now, which is a classic game that we've got coming up in a bit. I'll take this opportunity, I guess, to throw to that match. This is February 2018, and of course our 5-0 win against our visitors today, Birmingham City.
Lowe's left the ball behind, and now Brentford can break. They could be in here. Here's Morpie. Can he play the right ball? Morpie plays it across. Great chance for Joseph. Oh, he's gone wide, but he still scored. Brentford do get that second goal before the break, and they've really hurt Birmingham City there. Then the ball down the line, looking for Dalsgaard. It has found Dalsgaard. Dalsgaard into the box. Chance for the third. There it is. Neil Morpie. He scored once more. And Brentford are 3 up. Inside. Ollie Watkins charging forward. Oh, Stockdale spilt it. Watkins can get on the ball. Who's in the box? No one's there. It's Morpie. It's in. Morpie scored. What a gift. Another howler from Stockdale. He's lost the ball to Ollie Watkins on the edge of the box. Sawyers now through to Watkins. He's wide. Goes for goal himself. Stockdale spilled it. Watkins again. Now Stockdale somewhere to recover. Oh, lovely ball through to Joseph. Fantastic football. And this will be the 5th shot. Oh, no. Is it wide? Here's Josephson. Josephson plays it back in the box. Watkins. Yes. It's the 5th. Great cross by Josephson on the far side. And they're stooping low. Ollie Watkins just glances it. Jeff Jones just had one look at his watch. Here comes Bentley. That is the final whistle. And what a scoreline here. Brentford fans coming here tonight really wanted to see us put in a performance against Birmingham City. They've had that and some. It's finished 5-0.
Couple of tweets been coming in from you guys. Thank you very much. Jack Roper says nothing but 3 points needed. I mean, we kind of said that so much. Brentford haven't come out to warm up just yet. I'd like to ask you guys about the midfield 3 combination in the middle. Today sees Matthias Jensen come in alongside Vitali and Christian. I like that as a combination. Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, I think most of the combinations we got are pretty good anyway. Jensen had a rest. Now he comes in. Can he bring that freshness, that sort of key pass element that he can bring to the team? I'm sure he's going to do that. It's just, we've got so many different combinations. You know, when Joshua Silva's fit, you'll probably see him in there at some stage as well. So we've got great competition.
Against a side like Birmingham today, Natalie, where maybe we'll see a lot of the ball in the last few games, especially under Lee Bowyer, that we've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Is that where a player like Matthias Jensen will come into his own, really? And we'll be looking at him to unlock that door?
Yeah. Oh, I thought so, yeah. And that's probably partly why Thomas Frank has brought him in. I mean, we know the kind of killer passes, the killer through balls that Jensen can come up with. So, it could be a great opportunity for him tonight. And as you mentioned, I like that front, that middle three. I think it's an exciting three. But as Marcus pointed out, we've got so much squad depth in a way. I know we've got injuries and some key players missing, like Josh Da Silva. But when we have that full squad available, it's exciting. We've got lots of talent in there.
Exactly. Well, we say all the time we don't really know what our strongest 11 still is. Carly, on that midfield three again, I look at it and it's almost like Jensen's a stylish one. Do you know what I mean? He's got the technique, he's spraying the passes, but the opposition will be looking to rough him up probably. And he's got his two big brothers, isn't he? Either side of him today that are going to protect him. Is that what we've got to do? Is protect Matthias and free him up?
Yeah, I think that's one of the main keys, really. If we can kind of protect him and free him up so he can get on the ball and dictate play, he'll cause Birmingham problems today. No doubt they'll come and they'll try and be solid, but he's someone who can unlock any door when he's on the pitch. He
will indeed. Natalie, Carly, unfortunately, this is where you've got to say goodbye, and you've got to head up there to the gantry to see Mark Burridge. Before you go, have the two of you got any hidden talents at all?
Oh, have I got any hit? No, I really don't. No. I'm already thinking about how we're going to get up there, and it's such a long old walk. So
get step count up. Don't worry about that.
That's the only thing I can think of. But
Carly,
I can sing a little note every now and then. Apparently,
yeah. Wow.
I'm
not wanting to ask you to give you one, but I know that you won't.
No.
Well, one man who has many hidden talents and a couple of surprising ones actually is Emiliano. Here's Iz.
Against West Brom in the Carabao Cup bicycle kick.
That was outrageous.
Probably because it's my first bicycle kick. So, and I have scored a free kick before. I know I have some good free kicks, but bicycle kick is probably the best one.
Because of that, like you've practiced free kicks, you've practiced on shooting. Surely no one practices bicycle kicks. How did you know you had that in your locker?
I did when I was younger. I did practice bicycle kicks, and also trying to do it in training sometimes. I think you have to practice it to be good at it, and also have the to be brave to do it in the game. This one, I think.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it's gotta be that one.
That's from the celebration. When you got that done, did you have in mind that'll look great on a celebration?
Yeah. I think that was some of my friends that said, "Why you don't do that when you score?" When I remember to do it, I'll do it. But I haven't remembered all the times.
I might be wrong here. Are all your tattoos down your left side?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
Yes. All of my tattoos is from my mom. Dedicated for my mom. There's a special meaning of everything. So my left arm is dedicated to my mom, and then I want to have everything on my right for my dad. I think N'Golo Kante is a very nice person, but I don't know him, but he seems to be very nice.
What about the people that you do know?
Ethan is very, very nice guy. He's the nicest. He can be a bit more. How to say? What is the opposite of nice?
Well, I'd say I know what you suggest. Like maybe a bit more aggressive, a bit more angry.
Yeah. It's actually good. He's clever instead of being brutal. So he take the ball instead of the man. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. So you're Ronaldo, not Messi.
Yeah. I have to say Ronaldo. He's just my biggest idol, and that he can keep going like he do that right now. And he's 36. It's just it's unreal and unbelievable. So for me, the greatest ever. I can juggle with 3 balls or 3 of everything.
What, have you got anything with you that you could do it in?
That's not the best things. I have like these 3 things.
What, you can juggle with that?
Yeah, let me try.
No way! Get in the circus, mate. That's class.
I have tried to do it before, but I'm still. I have to practice more. It's something that means a lot to me, and I think there should be more awareness of it, and really important topic right now with the pandemic and the lockdown, and something we should do more with, or take more care of.
And you are very passionate about it, and I've seen the competitions that you've been running. Have you ever struggled with your mental health in the past or anything like that, would you say?
Yeah, I probably had. I have a brother that is have mental issues, and that's also maybe why I have been so much into it. And when I was younger, we had psychiatrists in our home, and I was always wondering what my brother was thinking and how he dealt with stuff, and also seeing it in my friends, or being more interested in the brain and how it can affect people differently, life and episodes in life's challenging moments, and difficult times, how it can be different for everyone, because everyone is different and everyone is thinking differently, and the thoughts and the mind is very powerful in how we live our lives. Oh, I don't want to be rude to anyone.
That's because maybe you're the nicest man in football then.
yeah, maybe I am. I think maybe some of the young guys, they maybe think the brand is everything, so they just buy the brand, and I don't think it looks that well sometimes, just to have the brand, or colorful branding, big painting.
Yeah.
I had a coach when I was playing in my first club in Denmark. He said, the more you do your own training, after training, the shorter the way will be to the Superliga in Denmark. And that was always something that really stuck to me. So after that, I was training every day after training, free kicks, shooting, strength training. And I could just see that, I got there quicker and quicker, and one day I was in the Superliga in the age of 17, I think. Yeah, that's something that always stuck to me.
And that's something you've carried on, because even today when I saw you, training finished, you, Brian and Saman stayed out, then they went in, and then you stayed out.
Yeah, I think it's since that it's just being a part of me. Nothing, really. It's fans are everything. It really is, and they are still there. That's why we can still play. But if they are not there, then it will be over. If it was like this for 10 more years, or even 5 more years, then I think football will be dead. So fans, football without fans is not football.
Emiliano was speaking there after a Community Sports Trust Health and Fitness webinar, where our official fruit and veg partner, We Chef, gave out some healthy hampers to participants. Love that. Right now, as we head into the last 10, the players are warming up behind us. We freshened things up a bit, and I'm delighted to say my favourite Brentford player of all time, sorry Marcus, Jonathan Douglas joins us. I'm going to pepper you now for some punditry, like your mate Sam Saunders, because your other mate, Harley Dean, is just over there, skipper in the side today for Birmingham. Have you spoke to him ahead of this one?
I actually just spoke to him before I came in, so it was good to see him. Hadn't seen him for a while. I think it was his it was Bertie probably a few months ago was the last time we've seen him. So yeah, he's looking forward to the game. I think he's probably a little bit happy there's no fans here giving him abuse. But yeah, he's looking forward to it. You know what, Harley, he's a proper man, proper defender. So yeah, it should be a good game for him.
Bet Harley's birthday was a quiet one, was it?
It's very quiet, yeah. Just
I bet it was.
a few sociables, a few coffees and that. So yeah, no.
That's what I thought. Now, obviously, the matchup between him and Ivan today is one that we all want to see. Ivan loves the physical battle. You know Harley well. He'll love it as well, won't he?
He will love it, yeah. You know, the bigger the battle, the bigger he, performs with. You know, he's a proper defender. He loves defending. And, he was a joy to play with because he knew the bigger the battle, you had him behind you that was, he's well up for it and, it'll be no different here.
Is that where the box office is today, Marcus?
Yeah, well, there's a few box office clashes. There's obviously Pontus Jansson and Jukovic as well to contend with. So we've got a good undercard, I would say, tonight.
You what? Move out AJ and Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Then you look there, then you've also got the battle in the middle of the park as well. This could be a bit of a bloodbath today, couldn't it, Jonathan?
It could be, yeah. You look to, to stop Swansea from playing there, attractive football, although Swansea over the last couple of weeks probably aren't playing the same football they did last season or, the start of this season. But I think that's what Birmingham do, to stop teams from playing and, to try and get them to play the way they're playing. That's go long and, be physical and, probably play off, as you say, long throws, corners and stuff like that. So it's going to be a hard game and if you don't do the hard yards today, you're going to be in trouble. So, it's a big test for Brentford. So it should be a good game.
So on that, Lee Bowyer explicitly basically said, against Swansea, we just stopped them playing in the areas we knew they wanted to play. And I imagine that's kind of similar to what Huddersfield did to us, stopping us playing out from the back. Because he said, we made them just go long. So what have we got to do here today, Jonathan, to make sure that doesn't happen to us?
Marcus was saying just before we came on there is, move the ball quickly. There's no harm in it going long, but as long as it's going long with a bit of quality up Ivan's chest and stuff and, get runners in and around him. So if you're pumping long balls up to him, and it's going up to his head, Harley loved that. Roberts at the back as well. They're a big physical side. So, get the ball down and move it quickly and, pull them out of little holes and, get the Brentford midfielders in little pockets and, go from there.
Another thing Jonathan mentioned earlier, Marcus, is they love a long throw. This could be a bit of a long throw off. That's another battle, is Mad's long throws versus their long throws. Swansea couldn't deal with them. Absolute panic up every time that ball went in the box. How do you defend a long throw?
Oh, it's a difficult one. You've got to be in the right positions to start with. When you're defending them, you need people in the right areas. You can't have anyone switching off for a split second because that will be the moment where they'll capitalise on that. So I would just say be in the right positions. You need someone big and strong to go and dominate that first ball in, that header, and also get the second bits in midfield.
How much would you love to be out there today against your old mate? Scott Hogan as well out there as well.
I wouldn't like to be chasing Scott, but I think I could keep up with Harley. But it's going to be a good battle, and you say the long throws there is probably one of the hardest, because there's so many bodies in and around it. There's people standing on your toes, and I think you need a confident goalkeeper to come out and help you as well, be it to catch it or punch it. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good game, and it will be a big battle as Birmingham or proved the last couple of games with Bowyer coming in. They're up for the fight, so anything can happen. How
big could a win here today be, Mark? Is it back on if we get a win?
Well, it could help us in the long run. The top 7 sides, I think we've all got to play each other. So that, the battle is on from this moment on. So 3 points tonight should really help us.
Well, look, just before kick-off, when the teams would normally be taking a knee, the Brentford players will be moving over to the touchline to stand together behind a banner that reads, "Standing Together Against Racism." This is a joint initiative from staff and players standing against racism and discrimination, and this will kick off a number of EDI activities at the club. Lads, thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry, it was short and sweet, Jonathan, but always good to see you. It is game time. 2 teams with contrasting sides, one fighting for promotion, one battling relegation, and some old friends thrown into the mix too. It's got everything on the table that looks like it's going to be a cracker here tonight. Come on, you bees, you Reds.